Hello. Hi, Ulla.
Hello.
I believe it's our first non-Latvian connecting.
Okay. So I'm afraid you need to speak English now.
Yes, from this point forward, everyone's speaking English, but it's
Great.
our third Scandinavian, so to speak, resident, I guess.
Right. Great
This
to
is
see you. Great to talk to you. Nice idea to have this knit night.
excellent. It's an unprecedented one, so it's the first online party in English. I mean, we've had some in Latvian, but this is the first in English. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. The success and how good the time we have depends on all of us. And yeah, hope. By the way, if I am recording this and I might share it on YouTube to kind of give an idea for other knitters on what to expect. If this is not something that you're comfortable with, then we can consider, we can talk about alternatives. So let me know if this is something that you are not very comfortable with. But if it's not a problem, then party on. So usually we kind of say our name, or where we're from. Hello, someone else is joining. Jan. No, it says Jan, but it might be someone else. We say our name, where we're connected from, and what's on our needles. And maybe Liga, you can start.
I always start. So my name is Liga. I am Latvian, living in Sweden, connected from somewhere middle of Sweden. And I'm still knitting Janet's Not a Boring Sweater.
Oh.
I have separated sleeves from the body. So now it goes faster.
Yeah, it's a plain stockinette, so
yeah.
It's the
row
boring
24.
part. The boring part of the Not a Boring Sweater. I am going just around the circle how I see people and call out their names. So if it's not, yeah, hopefully that makes sense. I have next is Ulla.
Okay, hi, my name is Ulla and I'm from Finland. I've tested something for you.
Yes, I know.
Like you might remember, so that's why I'm following you in Instagram, and when I saw this,
do me a favor.
Join.
Hand me that little white table, will you? What table? Behind you.
And I have just begun a new thing, knitting a new thing. This will be a cardigan, but it's only the start, and it's a Finnish pattern called P. And the yarn is Finnish Finn wool, like 100% fingering weight wool from a yarn company called Kässäkerho Pompom.
Sounds complicated.
Yeah, it's very lovely, very soft, 100% wool.
Excellent.
So that's what I'm doing.
And at the end of the party, we can compare how much progress we have made. So it's going to be very easy for you to make progress.
Right.
Christine.
Yeah, hi, my name is Christine. I'm born in Riga, Latvia, but I've been living in Sweden for most of my life, actually, in Stockholm. So I love knitting. It's really like a kind of, I don't know, psychotherapy, whatever, or yoga for me. So right now I'm knitting a cardigan by Helga Isager, a Danish designer. And I also have been following Jeanette, so with excitement. So it's the first time I'm joining here. It's really nice.
Excellent, thank you. I can see you're getting ready to fully join. whoever you are who connected from Jan's iPod Pro. But I can. Hi. What could you tell us your name and where you
Sure.
connect from?
Okay, I'm in the United States.
Oh wow.
You want to hear me from me?
Yeah, sure. So
Okay, I'm
your
getting
name.
confused.
What is on your needles?
Okay, I'm in the United States. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we're under quarantine over here.
Yeah.
And I'm knitting my first try to knit like socks with different colors.
Wow.
And it's like this tiny little yarn, and I'm using like size 1.5 needles and US. And it's always slipping out of my hands, and you know, it's really problematic. But hey, what else do I have to do? I can't go out.
Yeah.
So
I didn't
here
get
I
your
am.
name.
My name is Jan.
Jan. Okay, Jan. Nice of you to join us. It's really great we get Europeans and Americans. I wasn't. What time is it in Pittsburgh?
It is about 10 after 4
PM.
p.m. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not that early. I'm lost.
So you're about in the evening, right?
Yeah. Well, for me, it's 8 p.m. But for some of us, it's 10 p.m. already.
Yeah, 10 p.m. in Finland. Time to go to bed, actually.
No, time to pour a glass of wine.
9 p.m. in Sweden.
Yeah, 9. So in Sweden, it's quite nice, actually.
I just got my son to sleep, so this is the earliest I can do. We have Austra next.
Yeah, hello everyone. I am here speaking to you from Latvia. It's 10 in the evening also here. And on my needles right now is cardigan, which I ripped off twice already, so I hope third time works.
We hope for you. And Liene.
Hi everyone. I'm a Latvian who lives in the UK for about 8.5 years, and at the moment I'm knitting test knitting a jumper.
Wow.
One sleeve nearly finished, and we'll start second one. And it's to give you an idea of the size, it's for about 4 or 5 year old little person. So that's mine.
You've done so much.
Thank you.
Sorry, let me turn off the notifications. And I am Jeanette from zaneteknits. And I am connected also from the UK, just south of London. We're not on a full lockdown yet, but everyone's encouraged to stay at home. So I've been preparing for this moment all my life. This it feels like that. Okay, it's not funny, but I am not. I can't say that I am suffering or complaining about this. And I am. Oops, lost the switch. I am knitting a sleeve of a new colorwork design that I am actually making for a submission, for a submission call for a publication. So I'm not talking about it too much. It's if it gets selected, yay! If it doesn't, then it will be all over Instagram and and we'll see. But right now, I just need to take a good picture, so I'm crazy knitting the sleeves to make the deadline. Right, and I guess the difference between an online party and a live knitting meetup is that only on the online party only one person can speak at a time, but there's so many more pros to online parties that this is a nice price to pay. And I'm not sure if the mood here is to perhaps talk about knitting or talk about other things like, I don't know, the coronavirus. Does anyone want to talk a little bit about how they're affected and how they're coping? Maybe that's helpful to be heard by like-minded people. I can also understand that you're tired of hearing and talking about it with everyone else, and we could stick to needles and yarn. So I don't know, what are your thoughts?
I'm okay to not talk about it, like about coronavirus. We can talk about everything else but that.
I agree.
Okay.
I have had enough of it.
I can just add that because of coronavirus, I went to local yarn store. I bought some yarn to support local business.
Yeah.
And also to support local sushi store. So yeah, I think it's really important we're supporting small companies. So
Yeah.
the guys at the sushi store, they said that they lost 70% of customers, which is really sad.
Yeah.
So I think this is what we can do. Not
Excuse me,
panic, but sorry.
I'm sorry. I have to take my dog out, so excuse me for a minute.
Ah, dog, okay. Yeah, I just sort of say, well, so this is what we can do, support our local stores and small companies, if we can.
Yeah. We're also continuing with the piano lessons and everything else to just... Hello? My internet broke. Excellent.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Now you're back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, my message just said my internet connection is unstable.
I think a lot of people are using internet, like streaming movies and kind of knitting parties.
Well, I didn't know anyone else made knitting parties. Maybe
Well,
I'm out of touch.
or talking on Skype, just like, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been at home, sorry.
Yeah, go for it, go for it.
I've been at home since last Thursday when we had in my workplace we had the first victim of corona, and we were instructed to go home so that they could clean the place, etc. I've been at home ever since, and I think that it's really important for people to when they can't meet each other, like in real life out there in the physical world, it's really nice to meet people online. So we've had lots of online meetings at work, and I think this is a nice way of connecting with other knitters so that we can be online. I hope that we can do this also after the virus, but especially now it feels like it's really good to see people and talk to people and not just sit at home and work alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true, that's for sure. My daughter's school closed today, and it's just been one day since she's been studying from home, and she's a teenager, and I can already see that she's going crazy and very anxious how she will survive for... They're not saying when they will open the schools. They say it might be all the way up to summer holiday, and yeah, I can't imagine for someone who's used to getting out of the house every day. This is a shock. So yeah, thank you for connecting and keeping each other's spirits up.
Janet,
yeah,
we have somebody else connected. So
yeah, I am afraid to mispronounce the name. It looks maybe Finnish. Hilatumeli. Does it mean anything?
Yeah, it's a friend of mine. Hi, Tuula. Can you hear us? Can't hear anything.
Yeah, no, it's not saying that. Maybe some people have trouble joining because it's not the most straightforward way. You have to actually click a few buttons, I guess.
Install the Zoom. I had to do that, so.
And then it says join with audio. Are you on your phone? Because on the computer it's a bit more involved.
I think you don't need to install Zoom. You can use your browser.
Okay.
I didn't install anything.
Right. Okay, I didn't.
Yeah,
I just thought that you need to do that, so I did it.
It's okay. You can. I think this is one of the most famous apps for connecting with other people online right now. So sooner or later, you might have to install it. What do you use to call people at work? You were saying you're calling people at work.
Yeah, Google Hangouts.
Okay.
And we use Teams.
Microsoft.
Right.
Microsoft Teams.
Microsoft, yeah.
We use the Zoom also for distance studies at university here. I just started a course a few weeks ago, so then it was easy to connect after I tried these meetings before.
You were like a Zoom pro.
Yeah. After first problems.
So yeah, I have a couple of questions that I thought maybe knitters might like to talk about, that I'm propose we try and answer and see how we go. Or, for example, how many works in progress do each one of you have right now? Liga.
That was not easy one.
We have a lot of time.
Yeah, so some of them have been lying sometimes, so it's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5, maybe some more, I'm not sure. So it's your sweater, then I have a bigger cardigan. I think I stopped it this summer when we had a knitting camp, because I was knitting like the back. I was finished with that, and then it was 2 front sides, and I was knitting them at the same time, so it's easier, but they turned out to be longer than the back.
Oh.
So since then it's resting.
Okay, you hope the front will shrink of old age.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Or maybe I was knitting looser later. Who knows? Then I also have socks. It was like easy knitting, like in the car sometimes. To the work my husband is driving, but and now I have to look up how to knit the you. So they are also resting because they're more important projects. And then I also have a shawl, but I'm not knitting that one. And what it is called crochet. And then maybe that's all.
Maybe.
I
And
think
how
so.
most
No, my speckle pop shawl is not ready either, which I was knitting on first Latvian meetups. I have some parts to crochet around also. So there was one more.
Most important question, and how does that make you feel?
It's fine. I'm not stressed. I think I feel it like it's nice to have more than one project, because if I'm tired of something, then I can change to something else. If it's something boring all the time, then it's boring.
How about Ulla? How many?
I'm kind of boring. I'm actually a really truly monogamous knitter, but I might have 2 projects, and there was a time when I had 3. So I have this cardigan, and I realized that there's no way I can knit this because this row is like tiny cables, and I need to concentrate as it's only the beginning. So I need to go and pick up my other project, which is a pair of socks. But I usually, if I have more than one project, then I have something bigger, and then I have something small like socks or mittens or something. But I don't like many unfinished projects. So that's how I am, and I know it's boring because everyone has like a lot of different projects.
I don't know. It's 50,
that's not me.
I think it's 50-50. We'll see.
We'll see. Okay.
Yeah. And I knew that I need to knit sleeves because anything other than plain stockinette is really hard.
Right.
These parties, yeah, you need a real social knit. I should have probably mentioned that in the Instagram. But anyway, you live and learn. How about Christine?
Well, I have actually a number of projects. So one is kind of a big bed throw. So I started it, I guess, like 8 years ago or something. It's kind of continuously ongoing. Wow. Because it's a bed throw, a really huge one. I have to knit kind of squares on needles 2.5 millimeters. So I think I have knitted like 120 or something. I still need some more, but this is continuously ongoing. So yeah, I'm not sure if I will finish, well, in a few years maybe. But then I have a sweater which is almost finished, also by Helga Isager. I don't know if you're familiar with designer Helga Isager. I really like her, Danish designer.
Yes.
And then I have a cardigan knitting right now, this kind of pink one. A little bit pink with kind of 2 yarns, one fluffy and one thin alpaca. So, and then I have a one summer sweater actually, and it was almost finished. So I modified the pattern. So original pattern had kind of front opening. I decided to skip it, and what happens that I can't pull it over my head, so I need to re-knit at least back and have some kind of back opening. So four projects. It's not actually not too many, I think.
But 8 years on one project, that's
Oh, this bed throw. Well, next time, if we, for next party, I can show you some pieces. This is kind of totally, I don't know, insane.
Oh,
you know, when I bought yarn for this project, well, I calculated I need like 120 balls of yarn, cotton yarn, 120. So I ordered this yarn from a company, and they called me. Hi, we are calling from the company. So are you sure you need 120? Maybe you just need 12. Yeah. So, but it's kind of too huge. So.
Okay, how big was the box?
Well, it was quite big, but I mean, well, 120, it's not that much. I mean, kind of 10 balls of yarn in one package, like 12 packages, not too much.
Okay.
But then I decided actually to make this throw a bit smaller than I thought initially. It was for double bed covering the full beds, and I said, okay, no, it's a bit too big, so it doesn't need to cover a full bed. But next time I can bring it to my table to show you. It's totally insane.
Yeah,
I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't recommend.
Is it one color? Or
it's white, yeah. It's kind of old-fashioned bed straw. It's knitted. You start from just with 3 stitches, and you make it kind of square. You increase and then you decrease it square, and then you have to sew it together. So first I started to sew together by hand, but then I realized this is not working. So I'm sewing together with cover stitch.
Mm.
It looks really nice, yeah.
Wow. So how do you keep yourself working on it? Do you just say dedicate a certain time?
Well, and it has been kind of hibernating for half a year right now. So let's see. But now we are talking about it. Maybe I need to knit a few more squares.
Wow. And Jan, I see
Yes, I have my knitting buddy with me. I have my helper. This is Harry.
Lovely.
I'm working on a pair of socks, but I also have a sweater. I'm almost finished with. I did all the pieces, but I have to sew it together. And here I have some of it here. If I can pull it up. It's like a long sweater, and I made it like out of this Irish wool. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a big cable running down.
Yeah. Beautiful yarn.
It's
what color?
yeah, it is a lot. This thing is long. Then I have the sleeves. Oh yeah, here the top. I have the shoulder seam done. I don't know if you can tell.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it is really nice, and I spent a fortune on the yarn. Oh my god, because it's like tunic length, and I've really, like it's the most expensive thing in my wardrobe.
Oh,
I still have to put it together. I blocked it, and when I blocked it, it was, it was okay widthways, but it was way too long. Like it, stretched out this way.
Yeah.
So the sleeves ended up being so long after I blocked them that I had to actually tear them out, like maybe a quarter of the way down, and then re-knit them up and stop it earlier, so they were shorter.
Okay.
And that made me so sick of it that I just put it away for a while.
Yeah. Because it was superwash wool.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's actually it's Fiber Spates. Oh God, what was it called? I can't remember.
Oh, Vivacious.
Yes,
That's
it.
the exact same cardigan yarn that taught me how to do a swatch and block it before counting. Because I had the same thing with one of my cardigans. It just went kilometer.
Did it get long? See, mine didn't get really any wider. It just got longer.
Well, just longer, yeah.
It's crazy. Like here's
we used to there.
Yeah, I mean, this was like up here. It was crazy. The sleeve, and I had to rip it all the way down, and then just knit this much back up.
Yeah, I can see how that can kind of kill the appetite to finish something.
Yeah. And then I'm not really too good yet at seaming, and so I'm sort of putting it off because it looks so nice. I don't want to ruin it with my seaming.
You just gotta do it, and especially
I know. It was hairy, yes.
So you're almost a monogamous knitter too.
Yes, I have usually. Well, I do have, like, I do a lot of socks, so I have like one sock done of a pair, and then I usually put that away and work on something else so I don't get sick of it, and then I go back and get the second one. Maybe like I alternate.
Yeah.
Just so I don't get sick of it. But now with this virus and or having to stay in, God, I mean, I'm really getting sick of knitting, but because that's all I'm doing.
Oh, maybe there's some patterns that have some crocheting in there as well.
I hate crocheting. I just hate to crochet. I don't know what it is. Just like to knit. And I do machine embroidery too. So I did a design last night for something for my son's first Holy Communion. It's it's a picture of a chalice and bread and grapes. And that was machine embroidery. I ran that off last night. So I'm really getting through my list.
Yeah. You can always make a new list.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you're like this, but once in a while, like I have a local yarn shop that is really nice, like yarn from all over the world. And I'll get crazy and like buy a lot of it. Like maybe once a year I'll do this.
Yeah.
And then, so I have the stockpile of really nice stuff. It couldn't happen at a better time.
Yeah. We all go a bit crazy like me at the festivals.
Yeah, well, I would.
How about Austa? How many works in progress?
Now I have 3, but actually I would say more like 2 because I started stocks like in January. It was going to be similar to Gona Pigitas long sock, knee-high sock, suiti style. But I started to think, where would I actually use them? Like I like the colors and it seems to be interesting thing to knit, but I just can't find any place where can I actually like wear them or what. So
Yeah,
they are just sitting around in the bag, and I believe I'm going to rip them up soon. The other one is even more funny because it's a color work jacket for my daughter, and it needs to weave in the threads and sew on buttons and do blocking. But it's sitting on the couch like for 4 days or 5 maybe. No, you just
yeah.
can't finish.
Color work and weaving in ends is yeah.
Yeah, well, it's almost there, but yet you cannot finish it. And now I'm back to the cardigan, third third time. So I believe I'm gonna pick up some new cast on, just to be something, some other knitting to change things, as I'm also mostly at home now. Yeah, that's it.
Are you okay to have more than one work in progress?
Yeah, I also usually have something to take with me when I'm going out, and also something bigger at home. But not very many. I don't like when I have like 5 or more.
See, Ola, you're not the only one.
I'm not the only one.
And Liane, you look very concentrating.
Yeah, I'm counting. I'm picking the stitches up.
Uh-oh.
I have only 3, so but this one is nearly finished. I have just the one little tiny sleeve to do. Then I have your fireside chat cowl. That's my take with me project. Like I can just put it in a bag and knit wherever I am. And then I have the most important one that I really should work on is the cardigan for my work colleague as a birthday present. And I have about less than 2 weeks left to finish it.
But what's left for it? Looks like you can cover.
It's sleeves left, but before I start that, I have to take a little part aside, like little part. I need to frog it, but I don't want to do it, so that's why I'm doing something else just to not to do this one. Because I just I can't. It's not much. It's just maybe like just that, but I did a seam already for a shoulder, so I have to take that apart. And yeah, I don't like not taking things apart, so I'm keeping it for the last minute. But I have another 4 days off from work, so I'll probably will finish this jumper, and then I'll do that, and I'll need to work with myself just to say, oh, you can't start anything else before you finish the cardigan. So, and then I'll really need to do it. And yeah, that's it. And I'm okay if I have few projects going on. Usually not too many. I don't have usually like loads and loads. And if I have like, let's say about 4, I try to finish at least 1 or 2. So, because I don't have that many needles if I want to start something else, and then I have to finish something so I can get my needles.
Yeah, needles is the limiting factor for me too. Actually, I have eight projects,
Woo!
We have the winner.
Yep.
It would usually send me hyperventilating, but I am learning to be okay with it because life is short and I want to knit what I want to knit in the moment, and because sometimes I have to knit things that I have promised, and there's deadlines associated, then I need some projects to just be for me experimenting. And yeah, I have a couple of pairs of socks where I've done one sock, but the other one is waiting to be picked up. It's the perfect kind of knit online knit party work. Is a plain sock. I have one sweater that I is waiting to be actually ripped apart, frogged, because I decided that I don't want it, and the yarn was too expensive to just kind of neglect like that. And I have this. This is actually the third time I'm knitting the sleeve because I didn't like the first two versions. So I knit it until here, and I tried it on, and I didn't like how it looked, and I did it again. But this wool is amazing. There's no memory, so it just no bad effect. What else do I have? Yeah, I have my big colorwork swatch cardigan that I have made the body, and my next step is to do the steeking in the front. And I've been kind of getting ready for that. I did do a miniature steek for the armhole in this sweater, so I have a bit of practice. But this wool is much more sticky together, so so that was easier. The cardigan is more how to say, slippery, and we'll see how that behaves, because I'm a little bit nervous. So it's kind of resting there. But yeah, I have all my needles that I usually use are taken up. I can't cast anything on until one of these projects are done. So it's a logistical nightmare. But in my head, I already have 50 ideas of what to knit next. And sometimes I get sort of anxiety that I don't know how to prioritize my next project. It's serious. I get like stomach cramps because I think I should do that and that. And then I can hear myself sighing and gasping. Okay. my problems in the big scope of things right now in the world are very very ridiculous.
I got like that the first time I did steeking.
Yeah.
I was in a nervous panic because I had used really expensive yarn. It was a really beautiful sweater, and I was taking like this online course, and it was to teach you steeking. So I had all the help in the world and everything, but I was just so afraid to cut.
Yeah, because there's no way back, right? Once you've done it, it's done.
Well, I actually ended up sewing to the right and the left of it, and with my sewing machine. That's how paranoid I was. And it's fine though. It came out great.
Yeah.
But on the cardigan I was knitting, they recommended to use sewing machine on both sides before. So I did that way as well. And my yarn was not so sticky either, and it worked perfectly.
Don't have a sewing machine. I mean, I could act like one if I knew the principles. So
you might be able to do it by hand.
But yeah, I just did the problem with this one was that I steeked it, and then because I ended up picking up the stitches 3 times, I think it wouldn't survive another picking up. I think the threads would start coming out. So yeah, this is it. This or now or never. Basically, this sleeve has to work. Right. My next question was a sort of a, I don't know. What are your favorite knitting needles and why? Very basic questions. Sorry, what was your dog's name? He's
Oh, my dog is Harry.
Harry. Yeah, he's
Harry, like Prince Harry.
right.
And I have another one too named Peanut. And sometimes they'll bark at each other, so I'll have to take them out of the room so they don't, grab the bandwidth.
Oh, who was first, Harry or Peanut?
Well, Peanut came to me about, well, they're both senior dogs because I like, senior rescue dogs. Peanut was 5, and that was 5 years ago. And Harry came to me 3 years ago. Now, Peanut, they're both old and gray now. I think that they're both about maybe 13.
Wow.
But I'm not sure, so, I just make them comfortable.
Yeah. I thought the Peanut's name should have been William, but it's didn't work out that way. Anyways, I thought he was talking about needles, so I thought, but maybe he wasn't. Liga, what are your favorite needles?
Yeah, I don't have any specific favorite needles. When I am listening to other podcasts, then it seems like everybody has them, and I actually don't. So I have just, I don't know, different kind of needles. I don't even have a name for them, I guess. So I haven't been trying anything specific. So
I think that moment will come one day in your life. You'll trust
probably.
needles,
And then there's
I think I got these. If they were called Chiago, maybe this summer. I was for a day, like at countryside, knitting with one designer, and we got like a pattern which was new for gloves, and also needles. And they were like with they were red. So I think it was that name, but I'm not sure.
Like these ones, Chiagos, or I don't know how to pronounce them.
Oh, then I also have 8 projects. I forgot that one. So now we are even.
Aha, okay.
Yeah, but I haven't been knitting with them that much. It was not my priority at the moment. So they are also resting. But I will probably try more.
Right. So yeah, when that click happens, you will know.
Then the rest of my needles will not be good anymore.
Yeah. What about Ulla?
I have this same Ferraris here too, the red ones, the Triago, however they are pronounced.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of these because when I bought my first pair, because of some podcaster said that these are the best, and I believe what other knitters say. So I bought my first needles and realized that I love these. So now I have like maybe 10 different sizes, because these come with the middle sizes also, like 2.25 and 2.75, etc. So I have all those.
Yeah.
And I love them. I magic loop socks, and I use these for everything. So I can, if there is someone who hasn't tried, I think they are worth trying.
Yeah. I will say exactly the same thing in about 10 minutes probably. What about Christine?
Well, I like circular needles, so mainly I knit with actually Addi circular needles. I have plenty of them. So 80 centimeters circular needles, but I don't knit in circle. I knit back and forth. And then for mohair, like this one, I use kind of wooden needles, Knit Pro. So they're actually quite similar to Adi as to shape and kind of length. So these two actually I'm using all the time. I've tried some other ones too, but I didn't like them. Are they too sharp or not enough sharp, or they're too short, or they're too long or something like that? So yeah.
Yeah. And Jan?
I like the Haya Sharps. I don't know if you've seen those, but they're, you know, when I knit socks, I use three steel needles, circular needles, like each, preferably 16 inches long. And so what I do is I just have like everything on 2 needles, and I just use the 3rd needle like to pick up around. It's hard to explain, but it's the only way I can knit socks where I don't have like ladders on the stitches.
I think
so I use sharps.
I understand, because traditionally we would knit socks on 5 needles.
Yeah.
But this is
this keeps them from falling off, because look how long they are. They just hang, and so nothing's falling off of that.
No.
And I've tried magic loop, but I just can't do it enough. It seems like it's so fussy to have to like move all the stitches, you know. And this is sort of straightforward, and I can put it down without everything falling apart. But you know, I'm always trying new things. So maybe I'll circle back onto the 5 wooden ones again. I have all of those. I just don't use them.
Yeah.
And this is so fiddly with this color. If I had to handle 5 needles with them slipping all over the place, I'd lose my mind. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, but Lena is a tighter knitter than maybe yourself. When you knit tighter, then it's not so stressful. I can't knit with 5 needles either. I
can't. They're all falling, and then I lose them, and I'm down on the floor looking under the chair, or my dog grabs one. It's ridiculous. I mean, I just can't handle all that stuff. So this keeps it's hanging all over the place, but at least it's all in one piece.
Are they from a particular brand that you like, or just any?
Yeah, I have the package here. I'll show you the package. I just bought a pair. Here we go.
I only have bamboo from them, and I haven't tried the steel ones. Yeah.
And there's, one side that's like sharper than the other, so you can orient it the way you want, depending on like if you want a sharp end or if you want a, blunter end. And that's sort of nice. So, if you have one of them, then one of those ends is going to be different.
You mean like
I'll show you if I can find it.
One needle is sharper than the other?
Yeah, I'll show you. One end. Here you go. All right. Here's one of them, okay? This is a 24-inch one. I like 16 better, but I can't get to a store now to get more. Yeah. And this end here, okay, this is the end of the same needle, okay? And this end is like more like a pin, but it's sharper. And this end is a little more blunt. Oh. So however, I either use this side or this side when I go across another row. So you have the best of both worlds, sort of.
Okay, so it's just one more thing to like pay attention to not.
Yeah, but it's not falling on the floor.
Yeah. Awesome. I mean, I didn't know they had like 2 different sharpnesses. Maybe mine do too.
No, me neither. Never heard of those.
If you go like on Amazon, they have a lot of different needles, and some of them will say sharp. There's dual tipped or something they call it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, excellent. Thank you for introducing me to new stuff.
Sure, just look for when it says different tips or dual tips or something like that.
Brilliant. What about Austra? What are your favorite needles?
It's hard to say, actually. It depends on what I'm knitting. I have some Chiagus also. I tried them with lacy shawl because I heard in Griete's workshop once that one lady said that the Chiagos are the best. So I was getting crazy with the alpaca and silk lacy yarn, which was sliding all over the place, and it was just crazy. And I thought, okay, I will give it a shot, and if those needles doesn't work, then nothing works. And yes, I found that they were wonderful, but I'm still having a lot of Knit Pro symphonies and some zings, and but mostly symphonies. But yeah, probably I'm upgrading to Chiago someday.
Yeah, it is the Rolls Royce of all knitting.
Yeah, definitely. And also I like the steel tips, because when I knit arm warmers, I knit them really tightly, and my addies were all, what's the name? Were
Bent?
not straight anymore. Yes, they were all bent, and it was just crazy, because when you take it, it looks like a moon or something.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
those days when needles were bending or
Right.
bending.
But I also bent a little bit Chiagos, by the way.
But are they very sharp? So you
So
don't
they are
hurt your
quite
fingers? You don't hurt your fingers? I guess it depends on technique. So.
Yeah, I was
I
just trying
think
to
there
play.
are. Sorry. I think there are two kinds of Chiago needles: lace and then like
regular.
Normal.
Regular, right?
Regular. I should try regular, I guess.
Okay. I don't know. I only thought they have one sort of end, but I'm not sure.
But it says like red lace.
Yeah.
In some packages, and then there are others where it's. I can check because I have quite a lot of those. So
Okay.
I'm just knitting this row and then I'm checking if there are two different or if it's just my imagination.
But I think they're two different. I think I read somewhere, but I never tried them.
Yeah. I so and now we're on to Liene. I know there is going to be a Knit Pro. Knit Pro is in America called Knitter's Pride, or yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Knit Pro. Yes, Knit Pro Symphony. Well, when I started knitting about, I don't know, 3 years ago, I was knitting only with some cheap aluminium or plastic needles. I didn't know any better. But then I started listening to more experienced knitters, and as I was learning to knit socks, somebody told me, oh, try Knit Pro. And then I tried Knit Pro Zing. Loved them. They were like, I was like, oh, never knitted with any better needles. But then somebody else said, oh, try Knit Pro Symphony. And now these are my favorites. I haven't tried anything after that because I just don't believe there is anything better. So I'm so much in love with them. I have circular needles. I have 15 centimeter double pointed needles. And then I won't say they are my favorite, but then I also have a set of double pointed 10 centimeter needles, which are just a bit longer than my finger. But I find these great when I'm traveling, and they are very easy, like to put in like a very small bag, like in a little pocket. I'm knitting a lot like baby socks, and then these are brilliant, like if I'm going through the airport or whatever, in a car, or yeah, if I'm scared like to break my longer needles or something, they are brilliant. Like they stay very flat, and I'm not, and if something happens, like it's only 10 centimeter needle, it's not a 15 centimeter needle, so less scared. So but yeah, I'm going for Knit Pro Symphony.
That was
And
a
they're beautiful. They're beautiful as well. Yeah.
that
I
was
get
a love confession.
loads of compliments when I'm knitting in public transport or in airports or wherever. Everybody's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" "Oh, I'm knitting." And I'm like, "Oh, very beautiful needles." And then the conversation starts, and that's also, it's nice.
Does anyone knit in church?
Sorry?
I just thought about it yesterday. Would that be rude?
Well, you know, I don't think so. I mean, I need it to help me concentrate.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I want to get up and walk around. I have a little bit of ADD, and so I want to walk around and do things all the time. And it centers me. And so it's actually an aid to my comprehension. It helps me to settle down and listen to what I'm hearing. A lot of people don't understand that, and they think we're being rude. It has nothing to do with it. It's weird. I know it makes you feel like people think that.
I couldn't hear the question. What was the question?
I asked if anyone knits in church.
Oh, right. I knit at my daughter's school parent meetings.
Oh, great.
My daughter goes facepalm, but I don't know.
Yeah. But does teachers say anything or other parents?
No, whatever. I'm still paying attention. I'm very engaged, and
Yeah, it helps me.
yeah.
When I do knit in like meetings or something, I know that I try to participate really actively, so people know that I'm there, not in my knitting.
No, it's true as well.
That's what people see someone knitting and they think that they're not listening, but they are.
Yeah, it's
especially if it's a sleeve.
True. Yeah, I'd love to knit during meetings, but I'm afraid this is not really accepted. So you can be on your mobile, you can read on your emails, but knitting, no.
Right. Why so?
Reading emails would take a lot more comprehension than
Yes,
just
of
knitting,
course.
like
Yes, of
stock
course.
net. Yeah.
It's kind of a man-dominated field I'm working in, so yeah. So knitting, no way.
You can just say what is your field? Is it technology or
me?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's space.
Space.
Yeah.
Oh.
Space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Like astronaut?
Well, I'm not astronaut, but I work for space agency, so it's kind of man dominated. So yeah. No, I cannot knit.
Wow. But
Not
knitting
during
used to
meetings.
be a man's job before knitting.
Yeah, but not anymore. So.
Well, that means the space will be women's jobs too one day.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I guess.
Wow. Space. That
I was a technology person before I retired.
Ah.
And I still have my computer and my iPad and everything. And I do an awful lot of assistive, stuff for knitting, like charts. And I always rewrite the directions because, with color coding and stuff that speaks to me, like I sort of take them apart and put the directions back together. And also I have a brain thing called synesthesia where you see everything like has a color, like all numbers and sequential things. So I leverage that. And so I know if it's on a chart, if it's blue, then that's a knit, that kind of thing. Because knit stitch is blue to me.
Yeah. Wow, that's so interesting.
It's weird, but I mean, it works. I just instinctively know what color things are.
What is the pearl color?
Pink.
Oh. I always thought the knit was feminine and the pearl was masculine. I don't
know. It's just the opposite. In my world,
so easy, but pearl's so hard.
Yeah, well, pearls are female in my world, and knits are male.
I guess men are simpler than women. I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't really. It's a hardwired thing in my brain. It's not really something that's influenced by experience. I mean, like 3 has always been, yellow, and it will always be yellow since. That's the way my, mind sees a 3, and a 5 is always red, regardless. And I've done tests. I've had batteries of tests, and I'm remarkably consistent.
Wow.
Yeah, it's called synesthesia, and you can look it up, on the internet. It's really, a lot of people have it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
so many new things I learned today. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and think about what colors I associate with numbers. But all I can think of is black and white, just number.
Yeah, you probably, it has something to do with the way that the way your brain's connected, like some senses trigger other senses.
Imagine having that with smell. Whenever someone says 5, you think of bananas.
Yeah, well, that happens. A lot of people, they have it. They have that. It's that's a form of it. Mine's some color grapheme, but there's people that smells. Also, a lot of music.
Oh wow!
Like a lot of people, they'll hear like Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata or something, and they'll know that that's black and dark blue.
My
like
mom
it is.
has that music one because she would start singing whatever song started with the word that someone just said. Like someone would say a word, and she'd go off and start singing a song that has that word as first.
Well, that would be kind of fun.
Latvian problem, I'd say.
Well, when we're done, look at SYN.
Let me write it down. I'm a very
THESIA. SYN.
Yeah.
Yes. THESIA, I think. They're Facebook groups.
Yeah. Wow.
That on that, like where everybody says, well, gee, my 5 is red. How about you? And everybody, weighs in, and
wow.
Most people have had it since they've been born.
That's crazy.
It's very helpful though if you're consistent.
How does it get diagnosed? Like, do you just?
Well, most people with synesthesia have the same story, and mine's typical too. They had all their lives they made these associations, and they thought that that was just them. And it turns out that once you find out about it, like either someone else has it or you join one of these groups or whatever, then everybody else is saying, yeah, I thought it was just me. And, but it's very, very consistent. And if you've got it, you have it.
Yeah. Is it like left-handedism? Is that word?
No, nothing to do. No, nothing to do with handedness.
There are people, there's less than right-handed, but they grow up thinking that they're the only ones until they finally.
Yes. It's like that. Like a lot of people, they say that, their relatives or whatever say, well, you just looking for attention. And so you say you have this crazy thing and that hurts them. And so they don't tell anybody. When really it's quite interesting. I have no problem telling anybody.
Yeah. I had that with it being introvert and being made feel bad about being introvert. And
or
finding out that it's an actual thing. There's a lot of people like that. And everyone's just trying to pretend to be extrovert to be successful in life. We don't have to.
And sometimes if you're an extrovert, it doesn't mean you're really functionally, better in any way. I mean, you could be quite incompetent and be an extrovert.
Yeah.
sort of like our president. How unpolitically correct was that?
Let's keep this. I mean.
Yeah, I know. Yes. I'm sorry.
Not supporting him or our prime minister for that matter, but back to needles.
Yes, really. Sorry.
It's fine. It is a party, so we should talk about whatever we want kind of at the same time. Before it gets out of hand. My opinion on knitting needles is what's already been echoed before, is that how would you pronounce this? Chiago, however they're pronounced. I also learned on one of the podcasts that these are the best needles, and I thought I'll just trust their word, and I went out and got a set. And I was really lucky because I also think they are the best needles. I've got a few other brands and nothing comes close. It suits my tension really well. They're good for lace, for cables, which are my favorite thing to do. And the most amazing thing about them is these red cables. They're just Magic Loop became.
I have those.
So much easier and anything to do with these cables. They're just second to none. I haven't seen better cables out there. I mean, every other cable either gets like starts being bad at the connection spots or gets dense and things like that, but not these ones. The only problem I have.
I don't when they catch.
Sorry.
I don't like it when they catch. You know, with the catch the yarn catches on them.
But the only problem I have with these is that I got a set that is 4-inch and not 5-inch. So it took me a little bit of time to get used to the shorter length of the needle. And this is also a set where there's sizes up to like 10 millimeters, 5.5, 6, 7, blah, blah, blah. And I never knit with bigger needles than 5 millimeters. So there's the fat ones are just sitting in the thing. Oh, you're showing, and I gave Leanna mine, and it was impossible to knit with them, aren't they? Isn't it? They're just so short for that size, the 4-inch one. So yeah, but the range that I am interested in, the from like 2 millimeter up to 5 millimeter, these are absolutely the Rolls Royce. I couldn't, if someone stole that bag from me, I'd be devastated.
I'll have to remember that.
Once you have Janet, is it kind of sharp, the sharp model, or kind of, because Ulla said there are different kinds.
I have, so I think the 2 millimeter ones I have are quite sharp. They're really sharp. They if I was knitting any tighter, I'd probably hurt my finger. They're quite sharp.
Okay.
But because I'm quite loose, I don't know if you can see my screen. I barely touch my finger, so I don't feel the sharpness.
Yeah, I should try.
I like the sharpness, especially if you have to do tricky cables with, you have to get in between stitches, and then it's very precise. So yeah, they should pay me some commission, but I'm sure that I'm not the only one who praises these needles. They're just amazing. My next
I don't know if these are actually because it says lace in all of these packages. It says lace down there.
Yeah.
So, but some of these say also SS red lace circular. I don't know if they are like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sharper than the other ones.
But they're called twist because the twist thing screws on, because they're interchangeable.
Okay.
And they're not called lace. But are yours fixed? All of yours are fixed, yeah?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But I have heard so many bad things about their bamboo needles that it feels like it's not the same brand. People are saying that the connection places break and they start to be like spinning around the needle and things like that. So I'm not gonna try those. And guess what my next question is? My next question is, what is your favorite yarn or fiber, if that's easier? Oh, I picked out this ball of yarn because when I was knitting with it, I was using the Knit Pro Symphony needles, and it knitted up in the same kind of colors as the Knit Pro Symphony. It's really funny.
No.
Anyway,
I will return. Peanut has to go outside.
Oh.
She'll start barking, and then she'll steal all the audio bandwidth. So I'm gonna take care of her. Come on, Peanut.
We'll see you in a bit. Lisa, what's your favorite fiber?
Yeah, the one I'm knitting at the moment, I think. it feels so nice, and of course the color is also nice. And yeah, I think I said last time I should look up what it was, and it was, as I thought, merino, and I think it was some superwash also. And I was trying another yarn last week, and that was so stitchy and not nice at all. So this was really nice to continue knitting with. So at the moment, I think I like this merino really a lot.
And Ola, I think I know what you're saying.
Of course, it depends on what I'm knitting, because if it's like a shawl or a cowl or something that I'm wearing next to my, you know, skin really here next to my face or neck, so then I want it to be like really soft merino or something like that. But otherwise, I prefer non-superwash wool, like lamb's wool. Like the one I'm knitting now, this is non-superwash, and it's like fin sheep wool. So I'm turning towards more natural, or I don't know if natural is the word, but like non-superwash yarn more than before. That's, and I prefer, when I'm knitting socks, I prefer like wool and not merino, because I think they last longer. I don't know if I just had bad merino yarn before, because when I knit socks out of that, they didn't last very long. So I prefer lamb's wool. I like alpaca. Haven't tried. I don't like cotton. I don't like to knit cotton at all. Linen maybe, yeah, but I think I've mentioned all kinds of yarns. So it's your what you're hearing now is my favorite. But maybe lamb's wool, what I'm knitting now.
Yeah. And Christine?
Well, I like kind of different kinds of yarns. So right now I'm knitting a lot kind of thin kid silk mohair together with some other yarn. So usually you can achieve different nice kind of combinations. You can use alpaca or natural thin wool with the mohair. It's quite nice. So once I was in Italy, so I bought some kind of industrial cashmere yarn, and it was really wonderful to knit it. Then you need really kind of find a good store. Well, store, you can get some industrial cashmere, which is cheaper. If you go to normal yarn store, I think it's quite expensive.
Really?
And Jan, what's your favorites?
Well, I've got some yarns saved up that's called Dream in Color Smushy Cashmere. Smushy Cashmere. It's called Dream in Color. I like that. I never made some cashmere socks before, but I did for Christmas for a few people. And this stuff, the Vivacious, like we were talking about, Virus Baits. And for socks, usually superwash merino. There's a kind of yarn called Baah, B-A-A-H, by L-A-J-O-L-L-A. I think is the manufacturer. They're American. But I like that. And, you know, they're all wool, because the only thing I really knit is socks. So maybe once in a while I get a sweater. Has anyone knit socks out of cotton?
No.
No.
Okay. Just curious, because it doesn't have much stretch, and you know, it would be nice though. Cotton socks would be nice.
Yeah, it would be a nice experiment. I don't have great experience with cotton, so I stay away.
No. They make great dishcloths. You know, like
Yeah, bamboo cotton.
Yeah. They're real absorbent, and like you can make like pot holders, and like dish rags and stuff like that. That works real well.
Yeah, I feel like cotton just has its own life, because when you make a swatch and you measure it, it's one gauge, and then you make the sweater, and then it just changes as it lives, and you wash it, and it shrinks again, and it stretches, and yeah, the sweater that I've made from pure cotton is moody.
Yeah, and I guess it would shrink too in the hot water.
Yeah, it kind of, I don't know. It's like jeans, you got to wash them to get them back.
Yeah.
It's also quite heavy, I find.
Yeah.
I had a jacket at the store bought, and it was so heavy that I really did not want to wear it.
Right.
It's like a workout,
Yeah.
I've seen like lace knitting that's with real lightweight cotton. I wonder what that's like.
Yeah.
Could be nice, this kind of socks for Latvian folk dresses.
Yeah, I associate cotton with crocheting more.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't know why I got that association. I think when I first saw someone knitting with cotton, I thought, hold on, the person is knitting with crochet yarn. Not right. That was...
but this huge bed straw I'm knitting like for 10 years, it's cotton.
Oh.
But it's quite nice actually. Maybe because I'm quite loose knitter, so I mean it's not really a problem that it's not so stretchy. But yeah, no, but that yarn is quite okay. But it's really heavy.
Yeah. So your 120 balls of cotton yarn was a very heavy package.
I guess so.
Austra, what about you?
I like wool. I like different types of wool. I have done quite a lot of merino things. Now I'm getting used to alpaca. My totally up to now favorite yarn that I used was drops lace, which was alpaca with silk.
Yeah.
And the first shawl I knitted with it, I just loved the feeling so much that I thought I must have made some sweater or something to wear, because just shawl you just put up and go somewhere, but I wanted to feel next to my skin like for a longer period of time, and I knitted it, and I'm so super happy for it.
Yeah. I have only touched it once.
I have some balls left to make something else. I probably can make something for summer.
But isn't it like ultra thin?
It is, but I took 2 strands of it, and it was
okay. Of course.
Because for shawls it was with 1 strand, but then I took a pattern which was for another yarn, and I thought, okay, it's like twice as thin, but when I take 2 threads it should be okay, and it was. So yeah, probably you could use also with 3 threads. Yeah.
Liene. Oh, are you counting?
No, I'm not counting.
You have to ask this question.
Now I'm
counting.
Now I'm making. I'm marking on the paper, so I don't need to count. So I'm counting on the paper. Yeah, about yarn fibers. I don't know. I kind of don't have favorite, because I'm still learning. I'm still, I don't know. Yeah, trying different types. I know that I don't like cotton. I know that, but I made one cardigan for my son, and that was the first thing he ever agreed to wear, and I made it out of cotton. So and then I thought, oh, maybe he didn't like the feel of the wool, or for some reason, yeah, he didn't want to wear anything. I knitted for him, and then I made one cardigan with cotton, and he agreed to wear that. But it was heavy, and I didn't like feeling like to knit it. And but yeah, I think merino at the moment is the nicest feel on the needles. I would want to try more with some mix with silk. I have only had like one time some mohair with silk, and that gave a lot to the knitting and to the actual like finished project. It was so nice. But yeah, I don't have any other type with silk, so that's probably what I'll get next when I'll be ready to buy some wool. But yeah, at the moment probably merino wool, nice and soft, smooth. I enjoy it.
And I like wearing one type of yarn, but knitting with another type of yarn. Is that strange?
Might be a problem though.
Yeah. Well, I don't always wear my knitting because I'm always really hot, and the weather is not cold enough for me to wear. But I right now at this moment, because I've gotten into color work knitting, I really enjoy knitting with like woolly toothy wool because it sticks together nicely and kind of blooms when you block it, and it looks nice. But I can't say that I would enjoy it around my neck a lot. For that, I like some cashmere blends. For example, I just finished one sweater for a lady, a yarn dyer who lives nearby. And I don't know how many of you have seen on Instagram. It was like the blossoming sweater, and her yarn was 80% merino and 10% cashmere, and there was some nylon, but it was just so soft. Like I felt like I'm knitting a dessert. It was honestly, I mean, it was great. It would be great to wear that, but I sent it to her already. But when I knit with real wool that is non-superwash, and that I feel more authentic, and I feel like this is what they used to use in the olden times, so yeah, I feel more kind of true to the craft when I knit with real wool. Yeah, and it depends on mood, I guess. Maybe next week I will say that I really like knitting with linen because I'm getting ready for summer or something. So yeah, don't know. Can't answer my own question. Blah blah blah. I have one more strange question, and then I'm out of questions, because I honestly didn't know how this would go. So maybe you have some questions in mind that you might want to hear other people answer. My last question is the following: who are you? Stockinette, cables, stranded, lace, or brioche? Stockinette, cables, stranded work, lace, or brioche?
That was
Can I
not
start?
easy one.
Ah, sorry. You say.
No, that was not easy question. Definitely not brioche. I tried it on my last cardigan. It was first time, but I didn't like it very much. I thought it was difficult, and I need to follow the pattern all the time. It was like difficult to remember because I needed to knit 4 different rows and remember where I am. It was easier when it was like around, but as long as it was like back and forth, then it was more complicated. so I'm not sure if I will do it again. But other things, I would say I like a little bit of everything. It depends what I want to knit, of course.
Where do you feel most at home?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like every time I see a nice, beautiful pattern, then I want to do it, and then it doesn't matter
Okay.
what it is. But some of them I have seen in brioche, or not like I would like to do, but like a friend of mine was knitting a hat in autumn, and I thought, oh, that looked nice, but no, it looked even more complicated because it was brioche and it's built like a pattern, some kind of like leaves or something like that. So it should be even more complicated.
Yeah, when it's too complicated, it's not worth it.
No.
You don't get the joy.
No, every time when we have often on Thursdays also like local meetups, we have one group in the neighbor city, and now we also have another group in local yarn shop where people can come and knit and drink coffee and eat cake. Then yeah, you see many different things, and now I forgot what I wanted to say with that. Yeah, it was too long sentence.
Well, I'm trying to help you remember. But when you said things like we can go and drink coffee and eat cake, it's suddenly
cake.
we can't do this freely anymore. So we should really
Yeah.
appreciate what you're saying.
Yeah, then I probably was thinking that I missed out that today because I went running with another friend instead of going knitting.
Oh wow, you can move freely still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you're not a brioche person?
No.
Do everything else. What about Ulla?
Well, I was going to say brioche because I enjoy most, or I don't know if I enjoy most, but I'm most comfortable, of course, with stockinette, because that you can do. But I made a hat, finished it maybe 2 weeks ago, and learned to knit brioche so that I'm knitting, when I'm knitting in the round, I'm knitting both rows at the same time. And it was really nice to learn that, and I enjoyed making the hat very much. So I sort of I've knit brioche previously also, but just, you know, like one row at a time and back and forth. So it has been different, but this was like really, it felt really good to learn the new thing. So that's why I'm saying brioche.
For the moment, or
For the moment, yeah, until I learn something new.
and Christine?
Well, if I should choose only one thing, I would say cables. But at the moment, actually, I'm knitting something, I don't know, you can see it's with slipped stitches. So it's not, yeah. I don't know if you can see it. So you slip one of these stitches and you get some kind of stripes. So it's quite nice. It's quite simple as well. But, well, brioche, I'd like to try. So maybe next time. I never tried actually brioche. Sounds very good. But stockinette is nice when you, I mean, if you want to make something like that looks modern. So I think stockinette is great, but maybe a bit boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you can read when you do stockinette.
I cannot really.
Yeah, I mean, it's when it gets so automatic that, you know, like,
yeah,
I
but
find
then
I can, like, read at the same time. Sort of.
Yeah, you could. Oh, sometimes, you know, audiobooks, especially when I travel. So this is perfect, audiobooks.
Yeah.
And you can
Oh,
knit
audiobooks,
anything,
yes.
audiobooks, you can knit anything, I mean. This is
Right.
great, yeah.
What about Jan?
Well, I've done a lot of cable work because I really like that sort of one color, but the, you know, fancy stitches together. But I like the monochromatic like that. But I've also done my share of stockinette, and I'm doing stranded right now for the first time. It's a hassle, but I'm trying it.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
It's just all these yarn pieces and stuff. Jeez.
It's not for the faint-hearted.
That's for sure. Especially socks. I'm doing tiny little socks in a round, and it's you know.
I was just complaining about that the other day. How can people do stranded color work on small circumference? Because you don't really have much room to kind of make sure that the tension is right.
I know it is hard. I the first time I made them, I made like about 2 inches, and I put them on my feet. I got the cuff over my foot, but the
Yeah.
color work wouldn't go over my ankle.
I had to
So
put a pair of socks like that for my husband because it just wouldn't go over his thing.
Yeah, and so what I ended up doing is now if I float anything like 3 across the back, I keep it real loose. And if there's like 3 of one color in a row, then I'll make that tighter. I sort of finding my way on how to do it and still be able to wear them. But it's a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a lot to say on that. But Austra, so stockinette, cables, stranded, lace, or brioche?
I have not done brioche at all, and I have not done a lot of cables, so I choose stranded knitting.
Aha.
Yeah, but because I really like counting, because then your work like flies off because you just want to finish some sort of motif or what, and you need like 3 more rows, and then you just knit those 3 rows, and then it's okay, I will just do another motif and 10 more rows or so. I think it goes faster. And I also do beaded knitting, which is sort of similar because of the counting, and I don't know, I just really think it's more interesting than stockinette. Of course, stockinette is great, mindless knitting thing, but when you want to focus on knitting something, you need something, well, something to count or do.
Yeah, to be consumed by it.
Yeah.
To forget the worries of life. Only in it.
100% stockinette. Love it because I like the process. Just to knit and not to think, and that's why probably I knit a lot of socks, and they are just plain and simple, and I don't need to think much. And yeah, I just love the process, and I want to knit. I want to see the piece growing, and that's the quickest way for me to see it. So yeah, I don't mind like doing just plain stockinette for big piece, because it's just, yeah, I love it. I haven't tried brioche. First thing when I hear the word, I'm thinking about eating bit.
Yeah.
That one I don't mind, but when I've seen brioche hats, I can't say that, but maybe I haven't seen the nice ones, but I just don't like the way they look. And that, yeah, I wouldn't want to even try. Maybe if it's like just a little bit, like, I don't know, included in some kind of pattern, like with something else, then it's different. But just the hats, no, I don't like, and that's why, like, that's one thing I wouldn't want to try really. But I like cables. I would take cables before stranded knitting. But if I just want to knit to take my mind off everything, stockinette stitch for me.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I messed up. Well, I heard everything you said. I am definitely a cable person. I mean, I love all these other things that you can do. I love brioche for like a couple of weeks and then I get bored. Now I'm into trying stranded for the first time for, well, no, this is my third or fourth stranded project in my entire life because I purposely forced myself to learn it, to open some more doors in the design world. But for me, exploring these other techniques is like going to another country and seeing what's there. And when I knit something with cables, I feel like I'm home. Like this is my territory. I can go. I know it like the back of my hand and how the stitches are gonna go and where. So yeah. But when I want to venture out, what I haven't really done a lot is lace. And I know the reason for that is because I don't know how the fashion will change. Maybe it will be in fashion sooner, but thus far it's been very either like ribbing heavy or like you can see some cables have been coming through in some of the trends, but lace I haven't seen so much. Like you can if you see someone walking with a lace knitwear, you know that they've made it themselves. Not like a store-bought thing. I not that it's important, but I mean, I am maybe trying too hard to fit with the times. So trying to knit things that are trendy at the time, and that's part of the challenge to knit things that are sort of trendy at the time, but are also interesting to knit. So I'm sure the lace time will come, and I will be happy that I have got more avenues to explore. But for now, it's yeah. I don't know if stranded is very trendy, but but I just have to know it. This is, I think, in the knitwear design world, it's the kind of thing that most knitters want to do. Is your typical DK weight, top down, seamless, color work yoke sweater. That will be like a hit. Everything else is so. So yeah.
Have you ever used the yarn called Lopi from Iceland?
I think I've used something similar from Finland, but no, I haven't.
It's sort of scratchy. It's all wool. It's from a certain kind of sheep. And I made a cardigan out of it. You know, you can't wear it next to your skin, but it's a really nice cardigan.
Yeah. you gotta be of Viking ancestry.
Not next to my skin.
to do that.
So what was the brand?
Let Lopi.
Oh, Let Lopi. Yeah, right. Yeah. It's quite famous.
And I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I walked into my local yarn shop, and they actually had it. I couldn't believe it, and they had enough for me to make my sweater. So I did. It was different. It was fun to knit, but as I say, it's not like cashmere, you know.
Yeah, no, it's not at all, and it's harder to undo as well.
Yes, and I do a lot of that.
Yeah, I would be afraid. Yeah.
Did you ever try to frog stranded knitting? That's really hard.
Yeah, I did. It's so annoying. It's like 50 different yarn balls fighting for attention.
And have you done Intarsia?
Very a little bit. So whenever I try, I get so annoyed with there's too many strands of yarn that are going on. It's just very stressful for some reason.
Yeah.
One of these sleeves that I said I frogged was meant to be intarsia, where this colorful work continues vertically on the sleeve, but I just did
Forget
like
it.
10 centimeters, and I said, no one is going to enjoy this ever. I am fated. I cannot get past this, so I frogged that. Yeah, it was too much.
Yep.
Like, especially because it's the sleeve, and then you have to just to keep twisting it. And I had like a tornado of strands, and it was not nice. So I really like the stockinette version that I'm doing right now. It's very nice. Yeah. So did anyone think of a question that you'd like everyone else to answer?
Yes, I have one, I think. As I put out my knitting bingo on Instagram this week, I was preparing for that like 1 year. I think it's kind of popular here in Sweden, or at least between my friends. So I was wondering if anybody else is doing something like that.
What is that?
I will just open my picture. So you can make like a bingo. I just write like different names of patterns, what I would like to do. You can make it like I have 5 in a row, but you can make 4 or 3 as well, like smaller one. So some people are doing like you should not like plan that you directly knit a bingo, but when you get it, then you maybe can buy some yarn or whatever, but probably something related to yarn or knitting.
Okay, you know what? I am lost because what is bingo? I thought bingo is like
it's like when you get one line like
then
horizontally or vertically or diagonal. So
I thought you call a number, and then if you get
no.
Yeah, that's the regular bingo.
I will try to find a picture of my friend who is like filling up
what is a regular bingo?
has ready projects.
Well, the one with numbers, when somebody draws a number and then want to have it,
you just decide what you want to knit.
Yeah.
We have a similar thing in Finland. There's a podcaster who has made this knit bingo, and I think there will be some lottery onto that. But I think what we are doing is we're not really trying to. I have made my bingo chart as well, and I think I'm not trying to get the rows or anything. It was just like when you have the make 9 or whatever for the coming year. So this is like my make 25.
Right. So what I understand is you just write a square, you fill squares with knitting projects, and then as you do them, you check them.
Yeah.
And when you get like a stripe or a diagonal, you have a...
Yeah, you can get something for yourself, for example. It's like your choice. So some, like I just mostly chose the projects. Some of my friends, they like, oh, I need to knit something from yarn which I have over from other projects, and it can be like different kind of things. Someone just wanted to knit a hat or something.
Yeah,
I
so
wrote
you could do like try brioche and then use or yarn,
because it doesn't have to be like something specific.
And can you check off 2 things with one project if they like are met, like using leftover yarn and trying brioche?
It might be possible. It's how you decide. I think some of my friends wrote something different like this year, and there one of them said, oh, now I got 2 at the same time.
Right.
So it is possible.
There's precedent.
Yes.
Okay.
It's how you choose to make it, probably.
Right.
I
I
would say.
didn't know there was a that was called bingo.
It's how we call it in Sweden.
I never heard
And
about
Finland.
it.
Mm.
In Stockholm, I never heard about it actually.
Wow.
Yeah. So who is behind it actually?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Mm.
But
I think
is
it
it on
comes from
Instagram?
Sweden.
Is it on
I think it's
Instagram?
yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a Swedish podcaster originally.
Okay.
I think,
Podcaster. Okay.
and this podcaster in Finland, I think, heard it from there, or I'm not sure how it happened. But anyway,
Okay.
there's a kind of like a knit-along knit bingo going on this year.
I need to check it.
I'm listening also to a podcast here in Sweden. You maybe know Stick Contact, something you recognize?
Yeah, I heard about
Yeah,
them.
I think they have been talking about that as well, or at least this year in the latest chapters.
It was, I think, the same people who were organizing this yarn festival, right? Which is cancelled.
No, I don't
Not
think
this-
they are organizing it, but they should do podcast
participating.
live.
Okay, right, okay.
Yeah, on Sunday, because I was thinking if I would go on Sunday, but
Yeah.
I still didn't buy my ticket, but now I don't have to.
I bought my ticket for Sunday, but now it's cancelled.
That would be a possibility to meet, because
Yeah, exactly.
Saturday was sold out, so it would
Exactly.
be Sunday.
So yeah, I just realized I bought a ticket for a spinning class because I'm going to try and learn spinning, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be cancelled. So I don't get to go spinning.
Everything is getting cancelled.
Oh man, we're back on the same topic. Sorry, your question. My answer is no. It sounds exciting because I didn't know about it. But thank you for telling us. Maybe we should start a knit bingo.
Yeah,
definitely. I have a chart also. I saw it in Kia's podcast, or what's the name of it? I don't remember. And she has a stash bingo where you write down things that you can knit from stash that you have already.
That was the thing this year, which everybody is talking about, I think.
Yeah.
And then they choose the yarns they already have, and this will be for that project, and that one will be for other one.
And actually now is perfect time to do stash knitting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have some empty slots left, but the year is quite long, so I believe I will fill them up. And also, I don't have any reward system for getting bingo. But I did, when I wrote it down, I did some thinking to, like, when I do write down socks, I line them diagonally. So if I don't have bingo, if I knit just like 5 pairs of socks. But yeah, they don't have any reward system. It doesn't really matter.
No, it's just a funny thing to do.
Yeah,
but I also realized last year,
actually, for me,
I decided pretty fast that it should be 25 squares, and when I start to fill in, then I maybe filled 10, and then it's like, okay, what should I choose more? So it took like a year for me to put it out.
I have like
I wrote things, but it was like looking for things which I maybe didn't really want to do at the moment. So now I have changed some and finally put it like for everyone to see.
So you kind of make it public to commit to it.
Yeah,
everything in there.
As other friends from my knitting group. So now I just have to update it because I already have 2 projects done.
Yay.
Because I started to plan it like a year ago.
Wow,
I'm a bit slow.
I could probably get it done in like 5 minutes, 100%, no problem.
Like by the end of this party, you can post your bingo.
Yeah, I will actually do it. Why not?
It's really fun because I thought of it just like as a list of things I want to knit.
Exactly, that's the way it is for me.
Yeah.
I have 25 things that I would like to do, if not this year, at some point. And I'm not like putting any pressure on me, so that if I want to knit something else. And also I have, like, in one box I have written knit a hit, which means that when, you know, everyone is knitting something and it becomes a hit, and I want to do that, then I can check that box.
Have you already picked a hit or not?
No, because I don't know what that hit would be.
Right.
I think we're all knitting
moment.
different things, so at the moment there is no hit, I don't think.
Yeah.
Or I
there
haven't.
used to be like the soldotna crop or the
Yeah.
soldotna sweater. That
Made
was,
that, yeah.
I was just looking at Instagram. I was like, come on, show me something else. I mean, it's nice, but
yeah.
Not for the 20th time.
I mean, I have definitely seen this color combination already. Yeah.
Which pattern was it? The hit?
It was, well, I'm pretty sure there'd be no, like the Weekender sweater is another, that's a long-term hit. But Caitlin Hunter's Soldotna. And then we also had the Novelli t-shirt. Novelli. And what other hits have there been?
Arboreal.
West Knits Starflake.
Oh yeah, West Knits.
Oh my god. Okay.
Purchases Unite. It's totally a hit.
Oh, the Sorrel sweater is now a hit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And what else?
I think in Sweden it has been. I didn't saw it on internet, but in my knitting groups they said that like everybody has been knitting a city cardigan.
City cardigan.
Yeah.
City, yes.
Yeah, right.
Everybody has one, but like in knitting groups, there I usually see something that everybody is knitting in some period of time, but that one I didn't saw before. But they have taught me that you have to knit that one, so it's also on my list, and I even bought a pattern and the yarn.
In UK, everyone's crazy about the Felix pullover.
Yeah.
Felix what?
Felix pullover. It's
yeah,
like
it's lovely.
With just yarn overs as increases that form like a fern, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So that's another hit. Anyway, I got carried away with guessing the hits. It's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Or I messed up again. Right. How's Harry? He's
really pretty good. He likes attention. About every half hour, I have to pick him up and hold him for a while.
Aww.
Say hi. He's a very old pug.
Have you knitted sweaters for him?
No, I haven't, because he is such. I did have a dog that I knitted sweaters for because she was real thin and she was always shaking and cold and stuff. But he has so much hair, I'd be afraid I'd just overheat him if I put a sweater on him. Right?
Does anyone else have pets?
I have my cat here. I don't know if you can see him.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see him? He's sleeping here.
Oh, very nice.
What's his name?
What's his name?
His name is Antsa.
Ah, nice.
He is 13, so
okay.
I guess quite old. Rescue cat.
I have a cat
all
too.
my dogs are rescue dogs.
That's great.
I have a cat too, but she's hiding somewhere. She's 10 years old.
I have a boy. He's sleeping.
Hiding somewhere.
Of course.
I have a husband, that's enough. I tell him that I'm allergic to
husbands,
cats and dogs. It's actually he who is allergic, but he would like to have one, but I say no. I don't want all the hair in the house and in many things.
I have the same response because I know that I will be the one who will like
Take care of it.
take the litter, change the litter. Oh, I just can't with this. It's too much.
But you could save the wool and then make your own yarn because you're taking spinning classes. So
Yeah, because cat
cat yarn.
Yeah, I've heard people do that with dog hair.
Yeah, you can do with cats as well.
Really?
You need to save the wool. I mean, for quite a while, so you can make a really nice yarn, I guess.
Yeah,
Do
but
you
it
feed
depends
them
on.
any special like hair growth hormones?
My cat is very fluffy, actually. It's a Norwegian forest cat. Too much wool.
So you spin that? How do you get it
No,
together?
I haven't done it, so no. But
I
I
mean,
know that
how
people
is
do. You spin, yeah. You collect the wool and then you can spin it too.
Gee, it seems like it would be awfully short to do that.
Yeah.
Have you done much spinning, Jan?
None.
Yeah.
But it's intriguing thought.
Yeah. I've heard many good things about its meditative properties.
Yeah, at my local yarn shop, the one that I like, they're always spinning down there. They have spinning groups.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I just never got into it. Right?
Yeah, I just remember my grandma used to do it, and then back then it was just something that grandma did. But now I'm more and more appreciating the little fiber and the yarn and how it's made. Until
I can't understand, like I can't wrap my mind around how it doesn't like pull apart.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Just fascinating. The properties of wool, magical. Oh, I didn't see the time. The time has come to say our last words for the party night. But I would like to do a little thing to get the best possible kind of representation of our work on the screen. So if I could ask everyone to hold their knitting up to the screen so that we could see your face as well for like
Okay.
3 seconds, and then that would be amazing. So 1, 2, 3, and smile. Thank you. This is just a what's the word? It's a great, so to speak, screenshot. Yeah, on that note, I would like to thank everyone who connected with us today, and I had a great time. I hope you did too. And I completely forgot about the coronavirus issues for a little bit, which was
for 2 hours. Are you going to have another meeting?
Yes, I am planning on having one every couple of weeks. This was something that I was planning on for a long time before the virus, and so yeah, it's been a fun tradition in Latvian. So this is the first English, and I would like to continue. So I really hope to see you again in a couple of weeks, and I'll put an announcement.
Is there somewhere we can go to see when the next classes are? I mean, or you email us or what?
Yeah, the safest way is signing up to my newsletter. I send out links and stuff, but also on Instagram and on my Facebook page, I always post these announcements at least twice before. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to. I mean, how I can send it to you. I will on my Facebook page. There's a way to sign up to my newsletter. If you can find that.
And on your Facebook page, how do you spell that? I mean, how do I find you on Facebook?
Interesting. How did you find this?
I was searching for online knitting circles.
Really?
And I saw this somehow, but I don't have, so I wasn't on your page to begin with,
Right.
but I don't know how to reconnect with you
Right,
after.
right. Okay. It says I'm Asim, but I'm not Asim. That's my husband's name. My page is I am called zaneteknits.
Okay, hold on.
That's so cool.
I'm trying to reach trying to reach a paper with Harry on my lap. Here, Harry, you have to go for right now. Sorry.
No problem.
Okay, go ahead.
ZANETE.
BTE?
ETE. So like Zanet.
Yes. Okay.
Zaneteknits, one word.
Okay. Okay, I'll like your page.
Thank you. And yeah, I didn't realize that people outside my Instagram circle would know about this. That's great.
Yeah, this is interesting. You know.
Well, thanks again, and I hope to see you next time. It was really lovely to see faces of people that I had only emailed before. So amazing. And
Thank you.
Thank you so
stay
much.
safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
Bye.